This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5, residents in an east side Indianapolis neighborhood say there has been an uptick of crime in the area. What they're now asking the mayor to do to help shine a light on the problem.
Plus, an abandoned homeless camp is creating an eyesore for some in Indianapolis. RTV6 is working for you, showing you what you can do if you notice something like this in your own neighborhood.
And it's Monumental Marathon weekend. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live with everything you need to know before the runners hit the streets. 5 o'clock on your Friday morning. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Meredith Barrett.
And I'm Lauren Casey. We are monitoring a deadly crash right now to our west. We're making calls. We're going to get more information on that in just a moment. But first, we want to bring in Todd Clausen, talk about what it feels like as people are heading out the door. Todd.
Doesn't feel good.
Nope.
I'll tell you that much. The coldest air we have seen since the beginning of March now in place here across central Indiana, as temperatures have dipped down into the teens in many locations. In fact, down to 15 degrees right now in Crawfordsville, 19 in Indianapolis, a couple 20s out there still in Bloomington as well as Muncie, and that is just about it as far as the 20s go. And these temperatures probably go down maybe another couple degrees this morning before we start to warm. So you definitely need to bundle up the hats, the gloves, especially if you're going to be outside for an extended period of time. One of the reasons why we're so cold, the wind has calmed and we have clear skies across the area. So the new air mass is in place. The good news is we'll have plenty of sunshine here throughout the day today. The bad news is that sunshine is not going to help the temperatures warm a whole lot throughout the day. And you look at all the lake effect snows going on there across the Great Lakes in Michigan as well as Ohio. So it's a bright day for us. That's not the issue. Have the sunglasses handy, but look at these temperatures, 32 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour, and then high temperatures today only right around 35, 36 degrees. So it's a chilly day. We do warm up for the weekend before another blast of cold air heads our way. More on that coming up in just a few minutes. Lauren.
All right, Todd, I want to get to that deadly crash we are monitoring right now on our Traffic Now map. Take you over here west to the Claremont area where we are monitoring the crash along US 136 Crawfordsville Road area near North County Road 900 East. Right now, we don't know too many other details other than that at least one person here is confirmed dead. We are working the phone lines and we'll keep you updated as soon as we learn new information. You may want to hop on I-74 there to avoid any delays. Let's take a turn right now up to the north side. This is where we are monitoring construction. It looks like impacting both directions of the interstate. I-465 here at Keystone Avenue. The left lane's impacted right now, both eastbound and westbound. We'll keep an eye out for any delays in this area and keep you updated throughout the morning.
This morning, people living in an east side Indianapolis neighborhood say they are being kept in the dark. Now they're calling on the city to help change that. People who live on Bower Road near 16th and Ritter say there have been very few streetlights in the area. Over on 19th Street, neighbors have that same complaint. Safety has been a big concern lately amid a recent increase in car break-ins at night. Residents believe more streetlights will keep criminals away.
Streetlights are broken, or if we don't have any at all. So I believe that people are hitting in those areas where the street lights are out.
Definitely, it's dark. It's so dark that you couldn't see to identify somebody if they were out there.
Neighbors are contacting the Mayor's Action Center requesting more streetlights through the city's Operation Nightlight program.
This morning, we're still working to learn more details about a shooting on the city's northwest side. This happened late yesterday afternoon at a strip mall on West 56th Street near the Colts complex. Right now, it's unclear what led up to this shooting, but we do know that victim is stable. No arrests have been made at this time, and no suspect information has been given. It's also unclear whether the suspect and the victim knew each other. This incident is still under investigation.
A man accused of breaking into a home and stabbing a 73-year-old man to death in Lebanon will be sentenced on January 16th. Zachariah Wright was found guilty of 15 charges, including murder. Investigators say he killed Max Foster and tried to kill Foster's wife Sonia in June of 2017. She fought back and was able to escape. Prosecutors are seeking a life sentence without the possibility of parole.
At 5:04, just days after his re-election, the president of Gary's Common Council has been officially charged with multiple felonies, including kidnapping and intimidation. Online court records show an arrest warrant has been issued for Ronald Brewer with an initial bail of $50,000. He allegedly kidnapped a 14-year-old boy he believed was involved in stealing his car back in September. Police believe Brewer tracked his stolen vehicle down at East Chicago area, fired a gun at the teens inside, and took the 14-year-old boy back to Gary against his will. Brewer's attorneys argue he had the right to make a citizen's arrest.
An abandoned homeless camp is creating an eyesore for residents living in a neighborhood just east of downtown. Tents, blankets, and garbage have all been left behind a spot near Southwestern Avenue and Leota Street. We spoke to Joe Valenti, who drives past this every day. He says with dangerously cold weather on the way, he's concerned that what looks like a piece of garbage could actually be hiding something more serious.
They could be dead in that tent. These people don't deserve to be out in the cold, in the weather, and our neighborhood doesn't deserve to have this trash.
RTV6 has done several stories about similar situations in the past, and each one we tell you to contact the city's Department of Business and Neighborhood Services. That number is 317-327-8700. We've also reached out to the department to see what they can do to help. If you have a problem and need help getting answers or action, contact us at workingforyou at RTV6.com.
Here at 506, this year Indianapolis Public Schools will host its Showcase of Schools in a new location at a new date and time, so listen up. This is video from last year's event. This year the showcase will be held at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. The event features representatives and activities from each of the district's 70+ schools and programs. It's meant to help students and parents understand each school's unique learning methods. There will also be performances, live music, and free food. The Showcase of Schools will be this Sunday from 1 to 5 p.m. Parking and admission to this event are free. Coming up at 6 o'clock, our own Alyssa Donovan will be live with much more information about Sunday's event.
For the first time in its history, the Monumental Marathon is sold out. The race is set to begin Saturday morning. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with what you need to know if you're running the race and if you want to avoid it completely. Kelsey, you staying warm out there?
No, simply put, no. It is cold, and I feel bad for these runners because they are going to be here at the JW Marriott here in about an hour for their shakeout run. Just kind of a pre-run, a warm-up for tomorrow's marathon. But, yeah, like you said, it's a big deal here because it is a sold-out marathon for the first time. That means they're going to have a record number of runners and all that good stuff. So very exciting for the organizers of this marathon. So if you're a runner, here's what you need to know. If you haven't picked up your packet, you need to do that between 11 and 8 o'clock today at the Convention Center. The race starts tomorrow at 8 on North Capitol Avenue near East Washington Street. But of course, there are plenty of activities to do beforehand, so you may want to get here early. Now, if you are trying to avoid the race altogether this weekend, here's a look at the roads you need to avoid. Meridian, Fall Creek Boulevard, Washington, Pennsylvania, and there are several smaller roads that will be closed, so make sure that you check out this map on the RTV6 News app before heading downtown this weekend. Now, former Olympian Dina Castor will be here at the shakeout run, so we'll have a live interview coming up with her in the 6 o'clock hour. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Kelsey, thank you. Also happening this weekend, Monument Circle will play host to an event honoring Hoosier veterans and service members with the debut of Shining a Light. Buildings on the southeast quadrant will turn into large movie screens displaying a new show called Signature Salute. The videos feature images of historic significance and will be underscored with a performance by the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra. There will also be performances by Clayton Anderson and the 38th Infantry Band, as well as food and beverage vendors. The event runs from 4 to 7 Saturday evening. It is free to attend. Time now is 5:08. Todd, let's look at those temps.
It is chilly out there this morning. In fact, it's kind of a shock to the system. I knew it was going to be cold, right? Hopefully you did too if you've been following along here throughout the week. But still, that first time you walk out the door to temperatures in the teens, it is a little bit of a shock to the system, and that's where we are this morning for your morning commute. We'll have temperatures in the teens to eventually right around 20 degrees once the sun comes up, and it's sunny at 8 o'clock. So you'll need to bundle up, but also grab the sunglasses because it's going to be a bright day. There's no clouds to be found across most of Indiana, just a few drifting in here off of Lake Michigan and northwestern portions of the state. So while it's a bright day, we don't really warm a whole lot throughout the day today, as high temperatures will only be getting up into the mid-30s across across the area. About 36 in Kokomo, 36 in Greenwood, 38 will be the high temperature in Columbus. We do see the temperatures moderate just a little bit heading into the weekend. More on that coming up in Maine Weather in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. An officer forced to open fire at a Kroger in Louisville, leaving one man dead. Straight ahead, what police say led up to the incident.
Collins Dictionary has released their word of the year for 2019. We'll tell you what it is and some of the others that made the short list. But first, let's take another look at that crash we're monitoring, a deadly crash in the town of Claremont. We're learning from the Wayne Township Fire Department that one person here died, another person transported to the hospital. This was a crash where two people at least were trapped inside the vehicles. This accident, again, is in Claremont. You'll want to avoid this area for now. Take I-74 as a detour. We'll have much more coming up.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 5:13. This is a live look at your drive over on the northeast side, I-465 in Pendleton Pike. Everything here is moving along up to speed. My full traffic report is coming up, and we'll have more information on that deadly crash in the town of Claremont. Developing this morning in Louisville, police are investigating an officer-involved shooting that left one man dead. This incident happened last night at a Kroger store. Police say that two people inside were fighting when one of them pulled a gun. The other pulled out a knife. Witnesses say the man with the gun took the other man's knife and then started shooting. When the suspect came out of the store, he fired at police. Officers then shot and killed him. Kroger, which already is facing a lawsuit from a deadly shooting at another location near Louisville, issued a statement saying, in part, "We are deeply saddened by this incident. The safety of our customers and associates is our first priority."
Christina Johnson, Ronita Miller, and Miller's 4 children will be laid to rest today. They were among the 9 killed in a gruesome attack earlier this week. Meanwhile, the search for those responsible continues. John Lawrence with this update.
Funerals have begun for the victims of this week's bloody attack on Mexican soil.
We have no explanation for it. I mean, what kind of men opens fire on women and children? Because they knew there were women and children.
9 American women and children, all members of the same Mormon community, killed in the ambush. 8 other children were caught in the assault, and some were injured. All are expected to pull through.
Christina's baby Faith, she was in the car seat, in the back seat, which is where she was able to survive.
It's a miracle any of them are alive.
Mexican officials say drug cartel members were likely behind the massacre.
Why did they do it? The only explanation that people have put out there that's half logical is that the people that did it to provoke some kind of reaction.
An investigation is underway, but no arrests related to the attack yet. Relatives of the victims say they're frustrated by the lack of answers thus far.
We want the truth. We want to know who did it, and we want to know why, and we want them brought to justice.
Killings in Mexico are on the rise. In 2018, Mexico had 33,000 homicides, the most it's ever seen. The country is set to break that record this year. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
It is 5:15. All 39 bodies found sealed in a truck container in southeastern England have since been identified. Police say they were all Vietnamese nationals. Their bodies were found 2 weeks ago. Police in Vietnam have arrested 2 suspects in connection with the deaths. The driver of the truck, 25-year-old Maurice Robinson, is facing manslaughter charges and conspiracy to traffic people. Prosecutors claim he's part of a global trafficking ring. 3 other people have been arrested and released on bail.
An 89-year-old Auschwitz survivor and Italian senator is now under police protection. Liliana Segre was only 13 when she was deported to Auschwitz. She recently created a parliamentary committee against hate, racism, and anti-Semitism. This has caused her to become the target of aggressive social media attacks, receiving as many as 200 hate messages a day. Segre, who is a lifetime parliament member, was assigned a security detail despite a lack of support by Italy's right-wing parties. She is just one of 25 children under the age of 14 to survive after being deported to Auschwitz. Collins Dictionary has come out with their words of the year, topping the list this year, climate strike. The edition follows months of protests, specifically ones led by Swedish teen activist Greta Thunberg. Several other words and phrases made the short list, including BOPO, short for body positive, or the idea that people should be proud of their appearance. Deepfake, influencer, and non-binary were also on the short list. And Todd, I know that you have no influence on this weather. Otherwise, it would not be 19 degrees outside right now.
You would be correct. It'd probably be a nice, comfortable 60 degrees right about now with a high of 75 and sunshine, light winds, low humidity. That's not the case here, though. Today's 19 degrees, as Meredith alluded to. It is cold this morning and still a little bit of a breeze out there out of the north-northwest at 9 miles per hour. Sunrise is at 7:21. Once the sun comes up, we will start to see our temperatures moderate a little bit here across the area. So most locations are in the teens. Last time we were in the teens, you have to go all the way back to the beginning of March. Bloomington still holding on to 20 degrees, 22 in Connorsville, 18 is the current temperature in Tipton, and 16 is the current temperatures. Make your way into the Crawfordsville area. Factor in that 12-mile-per-hour wind, and this is what it feels like. Single digits right now from Indy to Peru to Lafayette. So you just really need to bundle up as you walk out the door, especially if the kids have to sit at the bus stop for a little bit of a longer period of time. Definitely have the hats and the gloves. Now, the good news is we'll have plenty of sunshine throughout the day today. So while it's chilly, it will be bright in the sunshine. That always helps everything. But look at our highs today, only in the mid to upper 30s here across the area. And then even this evening, it's Friday night, you may have plans. It'll cool off very, very quickly under clear skies back into the 20s. So here are the clear skies. You notice just a few little clouds there drifting in off Lake Michigan. These are lake effect enhanced clouds. You notice the lake effect snows there in West Michigan, some near Cleveland as well. But high pressure is firmly in control of our weather, and that'll be the case not only throughout the day today, but throughout much of the weekend as well. So this evening sunset is at 5:36. By 7 p.m. already, we're back down into the 20s with a mainly clear sky. And then tomorrow morning as you wake up, probably not quite as cold as it is this morning, but still very, very chilly with temperatures that will be in the 20s. Keep that in mind if you are running the Monumental Marathon. The good news is temperatures should start to moderate fairly quickly once the sun comes up, and then we'll see temperatures eventually into the 30s by 10 a.m. The one thing you may have to keep an eye out is while it's going to be dry, the winds will pick up throughout the course of the day. So it may be a little breezy tomorrow morning, but the real strong winds don't arrive till the afternoon hours. So that's good news for the runners. And then for the rest of the day tomorrow, we're into the mid to upper 40s for the event on Monument Circle tomorrow evening on Shining the Light. Temperatures will be in the 40s, falling into the 30s. As we go to the 7-day planning forecast, the weekend temperatures moderate to about 53 on Sunday, so it should be good for the Colts game. That's the warmest temperature we have for a while. Another cold front comes through on Monday with it around the snow showers, maybe some accumulation Monday mornings for the commute. We'll have to keep an eye on that, but then not even above a freezing for your high temperature by the time we get to the day on Tuesday.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. I want to take a look at our traffic now map at this hour as we are monitoring a deadly crash in the town of Claremont over here to our west. This one's located on US 136 and North County Road 900 East. Right now, we just know that one person is dead, another person was transported to the hospital, and that this was a double entrapment crash, meaning that two different people were stuck in two different vehicles. So we don't know the details behind how this happened, but we will continue to learn more information. We know Wayne Township Fire at the scene working this crash, and they suggest you take an alternate route to avoid delays. So I would hop up there on I-74 if you're traveling in from areas like Brownsburg or areas to the west. We'll stay on top of this, but for right now, let's take a trip across town. Give you a look at your drive here on I-465 near Fall Creek Road. Traffic here is moving along smoothly, both northbound and southbound. And then on the northwest side, you can see I-465 and West 38th Street. Everything here is quiet. We'll continue to keep a close eye on your roadways.
The CEO of e-cigarette company Juul said it will immediately stop online sales of mint Juul pods. The company will also no longer accept order from retailers for them. Last month, the company announced it would stop selling flavors other than tobacco, mint, and menthol. The move comes after research published this week showed mint flavors were attractive to young people who vape. The FDA is expected to publish a rule that would remove some flavored nicotine vaping products from the U.S. market entirely. Video of a Florida 3-year-old is proving it is never too early to learn life-saving skills like CPR. Christopher Schell has been a firefighter and paramedic since 2008. His wife is a Boca Raton dispatcher, and even the in-laws are first responders. Well, the couple were visiting family earlier this month when with their children when an emergency call came in. That's when they came up with a plan to stage a mock CPR drill with their sons. The couple says they hope the video sends a message to all parents. And we will hopefully hear from that family later today. This video here has been viewed more than 1 million times. Here at 522, we've got much more news, weather, and an update on that deadly crash on the west side. That's all coming up here on Good Morning Indiana. We'll be right back.
Horn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
Joe Pesci, the actor known for his role in Goodfellas and the Home Alone movies, used to be a lounge singer before his acting career took off. And now he's getting back to his roots. Pesci is releasing a new album, and the first single is reportedly a duet with Maroon 5 frontman Adam Levine. It's set to drop November 29th, 2 days after his new movie, The Irishman, begins streaming on Netflix.
An unsung hero in a small town of Texas is getting national attention for her inspiring efforts to save stray cats and dogs. Before Kayla Denny took over this animal shelter in Taft, Texas, it had a 100% kill rate. Just a few months later, she was able to get that number to 0, finding forever homes for every single animal in that shelter. That amounts to 565 dogs and cats being adopted in a town that just has 3,000 people. Now, Petco is recognizing Kayla for her efforts. She's the 2019 National Unsung Hero, which comes with a $35,000 prize. And Kayla says she isn't keeping the money, of course. Instead, she will put it back into the shelter.
Oh.
Pretty impressive. I think a lot of people around the country are looking to her for ideas. So
yes,
that's awesome.
Yes, our shelters definitely need to be cleared. That's for certain. All right, Todd, let's take a look at the weather.
It's a cold, cold morning for us. The coldest we've seen since earlier this year as temperatures have dipped down into the teens, but we will have plenty of sunshine when you walk out the door. That is the good news. 18 degrees at 8 a.m. and then we'll eventually warm pretty quickly once the sun comes up. 32 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour, and then high temperatures today eventually will climb up into only the mid 30s. So it's a chilly day, but it's a bright day for us, and that's the good news. It's time now to take a break. It's 5:27. Stay with Good Morning Indiana. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.
Today at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Are taking a different approach to discipline.
Now at 5:30, Call 6 investigates the new techniques and how they could impact your child. Plus, runners, get ready.
We're live this morning with everything you need to know to prepare for a historic monumental marathon. But first, and before we talk about the runners out there, we got to talk about what it feels like outside.
Yeah, Todd, because it might be historically cold, I'm guessing.
Hey, you know, temperatures are in the teens here this morning. Probably not setting any records today, but we'll have to be on the lookout for some record low temperatures early next week as we get a second and even more powerful cold front to head our way. Today, what do you need? Obviously, the jacket with temperatures in the teens. Your outdoor workout's good to go. No issues except it being very, very cold, so bundle up. And then you'll need the sunglasses throughout the entire day. Look at these temperatures. 19 degrees right now in Indianapolis, 17 in Peru, 20 in Bloomington. Teens to the north here, 18 the common number from Logansport through Kokomo over to Marion and then down towards the Anderson area. So the skies are clear. Little bit of a breeze out there. That's putting wind chill values down into the single digits in some locations. But with high pressure in control, it's mostly sunny throughout the entire day today for us. And as far as the temperatures go, once the sun comes up, we actually do see our temperatures warm pretty quickly. We should be back into the mid-20s by the time we get to 9 a.m. and then into the 30s by the time we get to the noon hour, right around freezing. And then high temperatures today, right around 35 to 38 degrees, depending on where you are here in central Indiana. Lauren.
Todd, thank you. We are keeping it close on your roads as you're heading out there to kick off your Friday. Here is a live look on the west side, I-465 and I-74, where everything is moving along up to speed, no problems. But just a little west of here, as you're hopping maybe on Crawfordsville Road, take a look at this. A deadly crash that we're monitoring this morning. 2 vehicles involved here, and at least 1 person died. Another person we can tell you was transported to the hospital. This is near North County Road 900 East. Northeast. Wayne Township Fire working this crash. They say this was a double entrapment, meaning 2 people were stuck in vehicles there as a result of that crash. And they also want you to avoid this area. So hop up on I-74 as a detour if you're traveling on the west side this morning, maybe heading in from areas like Claremont, Brownsburg, areas to the west. We will continue to monitor this and let you know when it's all clear. But for now, let's take a live look over on the northeast side, 465 and I-69. Traffic here is picking up this morning, but everything is moving along up to speed.
This morning, police are searching for a missing girl from Avon. Investigators say 17-year-old Gabrielle Stephanie Borthwick has not been seen since Wednesday afternoon near her home in the Settlement neighborhood. She was wearing a green sweater, black pants, and black boots. If you have any information on her whereabouts, please call the number on your screen, 317-839-8700.
And we are learning some new information about a woman who was found dead on Sunday at an Indianapolis Catholic church in Fountain Square. Police say 58-year-old Julie Morey was stabbed and strangled. Morey's body was found on a couch inside the Religious Education Center building of St. Patrick Catholic Church that's located on Prospect Street. Her death is being investigated as a homicide.
The Newcastle Police Department is warning you about a new scam circulating through text message. Investigators say people are getting texts that say Newcastle Police Chief Matt Schofield is conducting an investigation into cell phone scanning. The message then asks people to call a phone number where they are told they must pay money as part of the investigation. Newcastle Police say, again, this is a scam and police will never ask for any payment over the phone.
It is 5:34. Teachers and principals are learning how to take a different approach to disciplining students. Traditionally, students face punishments like suspensions and expulsions. The Positive School Discipline Initiative kicked off a year-long training for more than a dozen schools and providers. The goal is to help students with behavioral problems by addressing the underlying cause, such as trauma.
It's the deep work of really shifting mindset with teachers, making sure that teachers aren't looking at just the behavior but the student, and how can we get beyond this behavior, really work with this child and move them along. And that's deep work. It is mindset shifting with people who sometimes didn't grow up in the same environment that some of our students did.
Participating schools include charter schools like the Invent Learning Hub, as well as IPS and Warren Township schools. The training costs schools $4,500 to train 7 employees for a year, and workers are then encouraged to train their colleagues. Coming up at 6 o'clock on Good Morning Indiana, Call 6 Investigates is looking into why black students are more likely to be suspended and arrested. Plus, the financial impact all of this is having on us and the consequences if we don't address it.
Today, the Carmel Fire Department will make a change to its Safe Haven baby boxes in an effort to remove a possible barrier for parents in crisis. The department will add bilingual signs on the baby box at Fire Station number 45 on College Avenue. The new signs will eventually be installed at all baby box locations. Baby boxes are a safe and legal way for parents to anonymously surrender infants under Indiana's Safe Haven law.
For the first time in the history, the Monumental Marathon is completely sold out.
The race is set to begin Saturday morning, and our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with what you need to know if you're running the race and if you want to completely avoid the race. And Kelsey, I'm guessing one of your #1 tips is a hat and some gloves.
A hat and a glove, but you know, I just saw a runner run by with shorts and a tank top on. So
that is a brave
I already think those runners are crazy, but that's even crazier. So I would bundle up if I was going to come out here, but I won't be running because I'm not a crazy person. So anyway, we are here because at 6 o'clock today at the JW Marriott, they're going to start the Shakeout Run, which is just kind of a pre-run. Again, completely crazy. But again, this is a special year for the Monumental Marathon because it is going to have a record amount of runners as they are already sold out. So if you're a runner, here's what you need to know. If you haven't picked up your packet, you need to do that between 11 and 8 o'clock today at the Convention Center. You cannot pick it up on race day. The race starts tomorrow at 8 o'clock on North Capitol Avenue near East Washington Street. But of course, there are plenty of activities to do beforehand, so you may want to get here early. Now, if you are trying trying to avoid the race completely, take a look at this map here on your screen. These are the roads you need to avoid: Meridian, Fall Creek Boulevard, Washington, Pennsylvania, and there, of course, are several other smaller roads that will be closed. So make sure that you check out this map on the RTV6 app before heading downtown this weekend. Now, coming up in the 6 o'clock hour, we'll have a couple of live interviews, one with a runner who's ran in every single monumental marathon and one with a former Olympian. So stay with us. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you. RTV6 is getting results for people living in a Southwest Side apartment complex after they say management wasn't fixing an unbearable stench and mold growing in several units. Monday night, we took you into Nicole Mears and Jason Pierce's apartment on the Southwest Side. Their apartment had mold growing on the walls in the furnace room. It's a problem multiple neighbors told RTV6 they were also having. The Marion County Health Department cited the complex for raw sewage that was leaking in the crawl space under the building, causing the smell and moisture to rise into the apartments. Now, after sharing their story, all the units in their building have been repaired in the last 2 days.
I did notice when I came in that the smell wasn't as horrible and that they're still working on it. So she says that by tomorrow we should be able to come back in our apartment.
Honestly, if you guys didn't step in and do your due diligence, this never would have happened. Honestly, it would have been another small Band-Aid on a gaping wound, honestly. And thank you guys.
The health department is scheduled to reinspect the building when the work is complete. If you're having similar issues or see something that seems unsafe, you can alert the health department on its website, marionhealth.org.
As we get close to Veterans Day, RTV6 is learning more about a program that's helping vets who may be disqualified from other resources. Veterans Court helps rehabilitate servicemen and women who have committed crimes in Hamilton County. Marine Corps veteran Kyle Reynolds benefited from this program. He was medically discharged in 2012 after a crash that left him with a traumatic brain injury. Coming home, Kyle developed a drinking problem, felt lost in life, and was arrested a few times.
When the team in Veterans Court say that they will show you structure and accountability, they're not lying. They keep up with you. They will, if you start to slip, they will let you know and they will insist on helping you fix it.
The phases of Veterans Court are treatment, education, growth, and graduation. 25 people have graduated from this program since its creation in 2015. For more information, go to the RTV6 app and click on this story. Here at 5:40, Todd, a lot of kiddos waking up on a Friday. What do they need to wear to the bus stop?
Well, they need to bundle up if they're heading to the bus stop. We've been chilly here so far this fall season, but this morning it is downright cold. Most locations in the teens here this morning, so 18's kind of an average of the temperatures as the kids head off to the bus stop here in central Indiana. Skies are clear, so you don't have to worry about any precipitation, but as the kids come home from school, it's bright, it's still dry with mostly sunny skies, but the temperature is only right around 36 degrees. So it's a cold day from start to finish. We should still be getting up to 56 degrees for our average high temperature. So it's a full 20 degrees below normal today. And it's not just us. Most of the Midwest here getting into a big chill, and the East Coast as well. As we go into the weekend, it does moderate just a little bit temperature-wise. Take a look at this. 30 at the bottom of the scale, 60 at the top. So tomorrow we're into the 40s, and then Sunday our temperatures do spike into the 50s, only for a very, very strong cold front to come through Sunday night, and that drops the temperatures down into the 30s and even the 20s on Tuesday. So a little bit of a temperature moderation over the weekend, and then right back into the freezer. We'll talk about it coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. The Democratic race for president could be gaining a new competitor. Coming up, why billionaire Michael Bloomberg is reconsidering his run.
And many people woke up to a very delayed text message yesterday. Still ahead, what phone companies say caused the messages from February to finally go through.
And here at 541, the main issue on the roads is a deadly crash right now in the town of Claremont. This one is at Crawfordsville Road and North County Road 900 East. Crews there working the scene urge you to avoid this area. You can take I-74 as a detour, and we'll have more details coming up.
This morning, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg is sending a jolt through the presidential race. The billionaire plans to file paperwork today to put his name on the Democratic primary ballot in Alabama just before an approaching deadline. Originally a lifelong Democrat, Bloomberg has changed party affiliations over the years, running for New York City mayor in 2001 as a Republican, but last year re-registered as a Democrat.
There are a number of moderates in this race already that are trying to position themselves as an alternative to those progressives. So he could just add another name to that pile and really divide up that vote.
Both Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren have made issue of going after billionaires like Bloomberg with a wealth tax and inheritance tax.
A lawyer for the whistleblower in the impeachment inquiry sent a letter to the White House warning the president to cease and desist attacking his client. The attorney for the anonymous government worker believes the rhetoric is putting the whistleblower and their family in physical danger. The person expressed concern about a phone call between President Trump and the president of Ukraine, sparking the impeachment investigation. During a campaign rally in Louisiana, Trump repeatedly attacked the credibility of the whistleblower. Several conservatives have also threatened to reveal that person's name. And this morning, we're hearing from Indiana Democratic Congressman Andre Carson about the impeachment inquiry. He serves on the House Intelligence Committee, which is hearing most of the testimony. We asked the congressman about the public hearings set to begin next week.
My hope is that the questions being displayed before the public will give people a real-time feeling and sense to be able to make their own conclusion about this administration and its excess.
We caught up with Congressman Carson at an event at the Jane Pauley Community Health Center on East 30th Street. He spent time there to encourage people here in Indiana to sign up for health care coverage during open enrollment season. Just a reminder for you at home, you can sign up for insurance under the Affordable Care Act through December 15th.
A Buffalo Wild Wings employee in Massachusetts has died after being exposed to a toxic cleaner. 10 other workers also became sick while some were cleaning the restaurant's floors. All of them complained of difficulty breathing and were taken to the hospital. The toxic cleaning agent has a lot of chlorine, which can be dangerous if not used correctly. A spokesperson for Buffalo Wild Wings said they were shocked and horrified by the accident, and they are working with authorities to investigate.
7 people are in custody after a security company falsely claimed that its products were made in the USA. The company, called Aventura, is accused of selling equipment which was actually made in China to the U.S. government. Police searched the New York-based company and arrested the executives at their homes. The FBI says the lie raised security concerns because hackers could get remote control of Aventura devices and access sensitive data. The company's cameras and other equipment are currently being used at dozens of military bases. Federal prosecutors say the fraud went on for 13 years. Time now is 5:48 on your Friday, and we want to get a look at what it feels like outside, Todd.
Yeah, it is cold out there this morning, Lauren. No doubt about it. You walk out the door, and we've walked out the chilly temperatures so far this fall season. I'm telling you, if you haven't done so already, it's a shock to the system. 15 right now in Crawfordsville, 19 in Indy, 18 in Richmond. You factor in a little bit of a wind that we have out there, and it currently feels like it's in the single digits in many locations. So you definitely need to bundle up with the warmest weather gear that you have there, and the hat and gloves probably a necessity this morning as well, especially if you have to walk an extended period of time from the parking lot into your office building, or if you're just going to be out and about or have to work outside. Have the hat and the gloves and the warmest jacket you have possible to be on out there throughout the day today. The skies are clear, and that's the good news. Once the sun comes up, we'll be able to warm the temperatures fairly quickly here across the area. In fact, we make a nice jump up to about 28 degrees already by 10 a.m. I know it's still really cold, but it's just better than the teens where we are currently. 30 by 11 a.m., 32 degrees by the noon hour, so we finally get back to the freezing mark. And then with mostly sunny skies this afternoon, our high temperatures will be topping off in the mid-30s across the area. As high school football continues here across central Indiana on the Friday football frenzy, we have temperatures today that are going to be right around 31 degrees at kickoff, a little breezy, and then we're down to 29 as a lot of these playoff games start to wrap up here across central Indiana. So you definitely need to probably have that blanket handy if you're going to be in the stands. And then as you wake up tomorrow morning, not quite as cold to start your Saturday as it is right now, but still down into the 20s. So that's a cold start for the Monumental Marathon. But temperatures tomorrow will actually moderate fairly quickly across the area. It's going to turn windy tomorrow in the afternoon hours. Not as windy for the runners in the morning. About 47 degrees eventually the high temperature. And then Sunday 53 degrees with increasing clouds, but it should be dry all the way through the Colts game, which is a 4 o'clock start here this weekend, but a temperature up to 53 degrees. But after we get past Sunday afternoon, the second big blast of cold air comes in here across central Indiana. In fact, the cold goes all the way down into Texas. We're looking at 37 degrees on Monday. That's pretty early in the day. Could deal with some accumulating snow on Monday as well. Your low temperature on Tuesday down 17 degrees. Your high is only 28. So Tuesday, we will not even make it above freezing. Wednesday down into the teens as well. About 31 degrees your high on Wednesday. And we will be on record watch as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday morning. Forecast is 17. The record is 14 degrees. So we're getting close to that. Set all the way back in 1911. Then Wednesday, 15 degrees. The record's 10. That's probably out of reach. But nonetheless, here we are talking about record cold temperature potential, at least in the middle of November. So there's your 7-day planning forecast as a whole. Enjoy Sunday. 53 degrees sounds pretty good right about now.
All right, Todd, thank you. We are monitoring a deadly crash right now in the town of Claremont. Take a look over here to our west. This all happened along US 136 Crawfordsville Road at North County Road 900 East. We know that one person in this crash died. Another person was transported to the hospital, and this was a double entrapment, meaning that there were two vehicles there and both parties stuck inside their vehicles. Wayne Township Fire at the scene there working to get them out, and they're telling us you'll want to avoid this area still for the cleanup. They want you to avoid US 136, so instead you can take I-74. And this is a crash cleanup we'll continue to monitor, and our own Shay Goodpaster is heading to the scene.
If you woke up to an unexpected text yesterday morning, you are not alone. A mysterious wave of undelivered months-old messages swept the nation. Many people seeing a Happy Valentine's Day message from friends, family, and in some cases, exes. And U.S. carriers are having trouble explaining why. T-Mobile called it a third-party vendor issue, while Sprint says it was because of a maintenance update. Verizon and AT&T did not comment. Seniors at an Iowa nursing home look forward to visitors from this odd therapy animal, that is. After the break, we'll introduce you to Ole, the bull. We'll be right back.
For the holidays, Wickerworks of Brownsburg.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana, 5:55 on your Friday. And want to take a look up here on the north side, I-465 at Keystone Avenue. This is a spot where we had some overnight construction. It was impacting the left lanes, both eastbound and westbound. You can see right now everything is clear and traveling up to speed. Good news for your commute.
You've heard of therapy dogs and maybe even therapy cats, but a therapy bull? This cowboy and his bull like to visit nursing homes. The bull, Ole, is a 2,000-pound registered bucking bull from Iowa. He and his owner, Jason, are best friends, and they like to share their friendship with others. The senior citizens enjoy the visit, kissing the bull and even getting to ride him. Now, where is the video of that?
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go.
I know.
This does not look very safe.
No.
Okay. All right. Wow.
He's a very calm bull.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, yeah, this is part of my job.
Right. I guess that's what you need to do. You've heard of a bull in a china shop, and I guess you need to put it in a nursing home to calm it down.
Right?
All right, pretty crazy. Todd, let's take a look at the weather today.
All right, take a look at these temperatures on either side. I mean, not very nice here this morning for us across the area. 17 in Zionsville, as well as Lafayette, 18 in Logansport. A couple 20s here from Bloomington to Muncie. Sun not up yet, but the skies are completely clear this morning. And that's one of the reasons why our temperatures are so chilly. So we're off to a very cold start, but throughout the day today, mostly sunny skies. That's the good news, but all we can do for our high temperature is 36 degrees, a full 20 degrees below our normal high of 56 degrees. It does warm up for the weekend, though, just a little bit. We'll talk more about that when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 5:56. Stay with us. We'll be right back.